Yeah, what's happening? We about to bring that action. Gotta hold it down for my Seattle Kraken. Hey, we going beneath the waves. We going beneath the waves. Get it hype, step onto the ice. Ready for some action. Release the Kraken. Hey, we going beneath the waves. Going beneath the waves.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Beneath the Waves podcast, your weekly recap of all things Seattle hockey and beyond. I'm Matt.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Derek. And before we started today's show, we'll get into it a little later. But if the Kraken have you feeling a little, go check out the touring games, okay? And if you aren't able to check out the touring games, or if you are able to check out the touring games and you want to read more about it, go check out Heather, our very own Heather's articles. I want to shout out BTW's own Heather, who has continued to knock it out of the park with her coverage of the Seattle Torrent for the hockey news. Go check out her articles to stay up to date with all things Seattle Torrent. Like I said, when you're down on the Seattle Kraken, that can be a little pick-me-up. As Matt was just alluding to before we started the show, Matt, what place is the Torrent in the league right now?
I'm pretty sure they're in last place.
Gotcha. So it sounds kind of like the Kraken, but hey, you're at least spicing it up a little bit. You might regain your love of the sport of hockey. The link to go do that will be down below in our show notes as usual, and stay tuned into BTW for when Heather drops more Seattle Torrent coverage in an audio form for you all to enjoy. Back to you, Matthew.
Again.
Weekly. It's weekly.
Weekly?
Government name.
I'm going to edit out the second
weekly
syllable.
reminder.
Weekly reminder of the name that my parents gave me.
Yeah.
All right. We are on episode 53 here of the BTW pod. On this week's episode, we're going to catch up on the last week plus of games. We're going to check in on some Kraken news and look to the week ahead. Just warning you right now, it's probably not going to be too pretty. We've had some pretty high highs over the last few weeks, and we're being very rapidly brought back down to earth. So, as we always do, Alex, could you money puck around and find out and let us know where we are, which is almost immediately going to be like not accurate by the time this comes out?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to, but I have to apparently. So yeah, our money puck at the moment, without the calculation of us being stomped by some Penguins, is currently 47.1%. So we're failing. We are now officially failing to secure a playoff spot. It's not shocking with the way that we've been performing over the last week. And our first overall pick has increased to 2.9%. So we're not doing good on either front. It's kind of like that perfect mid that the Seattle Kraken love to live in. So we're back to reality. We're heavy. We're just kind of like sitting in that like centerpiece where we're like not good enough for playoffs, not bad enough for that, first overall spot. So, we're in that wonderful, beautiful, horrible, terrible place that we call mid. I hate it. Once we recalculate the money puck tomorrow morning, we're probably going to be sitting around like 40%. That's my guess. No, I'm not feeling too good about it. I don't know about you guys. Matt, how you feeling?
Well, I think I sent this 3-second video to Derek maybe like 2 or 3 days ago of like, if this week goes like this is what our podcast episode title is going to be. And I was always flashed back to Rob Schneider in The Waterboy when he goes, "Oh no, we suck again." Because, oh no, this team is sucking again. It was not a good week. We went 1-3-1 over the last 5 games. The one win came with a 4-2 victory over the Rangers. The Devils were that overtime loss. And yeah, Bruins, Mammoth, Penguins just absolutely laid it into us. We're currently sitting at 21-18-9. And as of like 10 minutes ago when I updated this, just hanging on to the wild card 2 spot. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, it's not pretty right now. I got a few more things to say on it when we get more vibe in depth, but how are you feeling, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say for all the Kraken fans listening, there definitely is a silver lining to the way this season's shaping up to be, is that, for the past 2 years, we know exactly how to act now. We've been practicing for fandom, and so everyone knows like the emergency kits to break out what your hobby is once you get to that stage of the season, because it's just groundhog year at this point. If it does end up being we're like eighth worst in the league or whatever again. So yeah, get ready to do whatever you did last year or maybe the year before that. If that's, sticking by the team, locking in even more, that's great. If that's like picking up like paper macheing or something like that,
Tweet
and
us
making
pictures of the puzzles that you build during game days.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm going for. But yeah, that is the silver lining here. We're very experienced with this now. It's just another Kraken season. So I guess we're in some sort of purgatory. Maybe we've upset the hockey gods and we need to do something to appease them. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yeah, pretty bad week. But like you guys were, like I think Alex was saying, right after, or no, I think both of you guys were saying, or I don't, maybe it was Matt. I don't even know at this point. But someone was saying it was right after like the streak of good fortune. So I just it kind of harkens back to the Kraken the last couple of years, just being one of the streakiest teams, if not the streakiest team. Money Puck right now has us at about like 88 points or so. It'll probably be like 86 tomorrow or something. I don't know. But yeah, pretty sad.
It's funny how this team like kind of it is with the reality check that you don't want, because like they always like give you like this joyous like 10 game run where they're like, hey, we're gonna like smash records or like do an incredible thing that we haven't done in like a year or 2 years. And then they're like, but hold the phone, we're going to do the exact opposite for the next 10 games. So we're going to do absolutely fantastic. And then we're going to do absolutely horrible. And then it's just going to repeat itself. Or it's going to come to a point where it's like, well, we're going to win a game, then we're going to lose four. Then we're going to win a game, then we're going to lose five. And the whole time it's like, but we're still not bad enough to absolutely like torch like ourselves in the standings, but we're not good enough to secure a spot. It's so funny watching this team every year because it's like, hey, I've watched this before. And it's like, oh wait, it happened last year. Oh, it happened the year before. Oh, it didn't happen in the second year because we actually did something. But oh, it happened in the inaugural season. It's been funny to be like, no, this team gets my hopes up for like 10, 15 games, and then it sends it back down to, no, I know what we are. And then it does the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Well, and everyone's clamoring for some big trade to happen too. And as we keep fluctuating, we do like really good for a 6 game stretch. And we're like, hey, things are clicking right now. We're not going to disrupt things and ship somebody off. And then we tank down for like 5 games. It's like, oh man, we got to look to start firing up someone, get some like life injected into our veins. And it's like suddenly we make a turn and we're winning 4 games. And it's like we can't do consistently bad enough to really like justify shipping someone off because when we're doing well, it's like, why rock the boat when the boat's floating smoothly? And then we're just in an absolute up and down dumpster fire of a boat. The boat just got washed out to sea and we're hanging on for dear life.
It's just
Yeah.
frustrating when you really think about that. Cause like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this team needs to make a trade. Like, this team is fully healthy now. Like, I'm pretty sure the only player that's still relatively like injured or not like playing or practicing at full capacity is Matt Murray. So like we have a team, but we did better when we had players injured. So I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, playing the veterans doesn't work. We've sent down Melly, we've sent down Yanni, and those guys are producing. You know, Yanni's doing great in the AHL. We'll get to him later. Melly was doing fantastic on the fourth line. The fact that they sent them down because they didn't want to make a tough decision, aka maybe make a trade, or maybe even send a different shot, like sending down Shane Wright or Ty
What?
Karche. Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't think those two
hey,
players
hey,
are
I'm kind of in the
comparable at
boat.
all.
I don't think at
I
that
think
point, but like I
Cartier
think
is like
making a
two
trade at
tiers
this.
below, right? Even
Yeah,
on Wright's
I'm
bad
just
days.
saying. No, no. What I'm saying is that I feel like this team tries to take the easy way out, and it always backfires. Like, this team could have easily been like, yeah, we have a lot of players. Melly's doing great on the fourth line. He's the type of player that brings energy to the team, but we're going to send him down. As soon as they send him down, like, this team's just flatlined. Like,
Yeah,
make
I don't
that tough
understand
call.
what the what like the reliance or dependence is on Ty Cartier. Like that makes no
No,
sense to
no, no.
me.
I agree with you on that. Like, I think the more I've watched him play this season, like, he doesn't bring the same factor that Melly
Yeah, I
has
don't
brought.
know why the Kraken are so like dead set on keeping him on
I
like
don't
the
know
active
either.
roster. It's pretty wild.
But that's you got to talk to J Bots on that. Like, unless it's like Ron is like, no, we're keeping him, and J Bots is like, but I want to make a trade, and Ron's like, don't you dare. Like, I don't know, but I feel like this team needs to do a shakeup other than swapping in a player here and there. This team needs an absolute shakeup.
I mean, yeah, like we're talking about being healthy, but healthy or not all year, one thing has stayed the same. And whether we're winning or not, one thing has stayed the same, and that's that we've been bottom of the barrel, absolute last in the league in expected goals for the entire season. We've talked about it every single podcast episode. It's never changed. I've talked several times on how I thought it was going to change because it's just not sustainable. Well, guess what? It is sustainable. And when we're losing games now, it's because we're either allowing more expected goals against, or I think a huge part of at least this week is subpar goaltending. Not just not extraordinary goaltending, but subpar goaltending across the board, really. And so when that happens, you're just going to lose games. And so I think that's really the only big difference here in this last stretch of 5 games is subpar goaltending. We were able to still get a win against the Rangers with subpar goaltending. But yeah, you're not going to win day in, day out if you have middle of the pack defense, worst in the entire league by far offense, and then subpar goaltending. Like there's literally zero redeemable aspects of your game at that point. So yeah, you're not going to win games like that. Absolutely need trades or drafts or something to completely shake up the offense. The offense is is abominable, and it needs more than just shaking up. Sorry, it needs like complete restructuring from the ground up, from top to bottom. Okay, yeah, the offense is quite honestly the numbers they're producing are a very unfunny joke. That's what it is.
The last thing I want to touch on before we get into specifics is on my phone on Twitter, I have like new post alerts for the Kraken account turned on. So that like if a trade happens or an injury happens, like it'll just get pushed to my phone right away because they're not a big team. They're not like if Edmonton were to do something and TSN blasts it out immediately. But I feel like, and after today is another example that really made me think of this. After every game, they always tweet out a couple clips of like locker room scrums and stuff like that. And when I pull it up and I flip over my watch and I see that there is a tweet from at Seattle Kraken, it's always the same couple things, couple words in the preview. Here's what today's offering was. The first one is, "We just got to be better than that," said Ryan Lindgren. And then after that was Ryan Winterton saying, "We've got to find ways to win now more than ever." And then you have Lane Lambert saying, "What's happening right now is we're making mistakes that are going in the back of our net." And I feel like after every single game, it's the same canned response of, "Oh, we just got to do better." We might as well say we got to put pucks deep and like I don't know, whatever other cliche you want to throw out there. But it's the same spinning of tires that is just being just spewed game after game after game after game. I could probably scroll back to the last game and find a lot more of the same things for you, but we gotta like act on these words at some point. I can't, if I have a kid that's not good at math, I can't just stare at them and like hope that they do math better. You gotta like put in the work to make that happen. So yeah, that's maybe I
Yeah,
gotta turn those noties off for a bit. I don't know.
100%. It's a bunch of hogwash. It's a bunch of malarkey. And what's crazy is like the middle of the pack team to the top team is about like a 10 to 15 expected goals for difference. The top team in the Kraken have about a 40 expected goals for difference. So like we're not even like it's not even playing the same sport at the same level in terms of the offense. It's not even close. So these little like, oh, we just didn't execute 100%, or like we didn't have our best night. Dude, you haven't even come close to putting onto the ice like an NHL product offensively the entire season.
I'm pretty sure AHL Yanni Newman can score more goals than this freaking Seattle Kraken team at this rate. Like, we got to put this into perspective. How old is Jordan Eberle's like what 35 right now?
I believe so.
He's got 17 effing goals this season.
Yeah.
17 effing goals.
Saving grace.
Chandler Stevenson is your second highest goal scoring player at 13. Like those two guys are dad energy levels. Like that's what we're talking about right now. After that, it's Jared McCann.
Who's missed like 30 games.
He has played 24 games.
Yeah. He's missed like over half the season or whatever.
Like
half the season.
Like that is the Seattle Kraken right now. Like there's no other way to put it. Like you're like, well, they got Tolvanen. Yeah, okay, he's got 10 goals. Okay. Well, they got Schwartz. Okay, he's got 8 goals. Yes, he's played half the season. Well, they got Shane Wright. Well, he's played the full season. He's got 7. Montour has 6. Dunn has 6. Myers has 6.
Pretty crazy stat here.
4th line player.
Yanni Newman, 4th on the Kraken in goals per 60 minutes of ice time. 4th on the Kraken. And we're just not giving him a chance. 4th, right behind Jaden Schwartz and right ahead of Stevenson and Tolvanen.
And he's tearing it up in the AHL because he's too good for the A. But, whoa, we're the Seattle Kraken. We can't let our young guns play. Heaven forbid that's not in our game plan. Let's just play these vets. Like, oh yeah, we're considering re-signing them. What the hell is going on with this team? Like, give your head a freaking shake. Like, it's time to shake this team up. Like, yes, we have players that are here from the inaugural season, but enough is enough. Like, sure, you want to keep Jordan Eberle? For sure. You need leadership. Keep him. But other than that, like, I'm honestly at the point, like, get rid of Jaden Schwartz. You can get a good return for him. Get rid of Jamie
Brandon Montour.
Brandon Montour, you need those guys. Come on.
Just kidding.
But, like,
just making sure you guys are paying attention.
I would honestly consider if the right offer came around for Tolvanen, I would consider it. Like, no one is safe on this team except for a couple players, even if the right deal came across for Shane Wright. Like, that's where I am with this team. Because this team needs a shakeup, and clearly, swapping in a couple players here and there, sending down the young kids down to the AHL is not going to do it. Like, give this team a shake. Because I feel
like, at least on the Tolvanen comment, I feel like Tolvanen does vibe so well with the Kraken. I would want to keep him. Someone I feel like might not vibe well with the Kraken, that might vibe well on another team that could, is Capo Caco. He's so that might be something I could see. I at least rather hope for than Tolvanen. I mean,
I don't know. I think something needs to happen, but I'm still
nothing's gonna
happen though.
Nothing's gonna fix it. Yeah, this team, it needs a lot of time.
This ownership, this management, they need to realize that this team is not like a 1 or 2 trades away from like fixing all the holes in the line.
I think they do. Maybe I think that's why they're not trying to make these trades. Because they're like we just need time anyway.
The one thing I'm also going to say, and this is going to be kind of out of right field. Where's Todd Lewicki? This guy was preaching last season that this team is an NHL playoff team. We just need 1 or 2 players to fix this team. We are going to do everything. The guy's disappeared. It's like Thanos.
You can't blame a guy for being optimistic.
I know, and I know he's all words, and that's about it.
But he goes out.
Not everyone's maximum doom and gloom all the time.
Yes, but like this team's got to put their money where their mouth is, and like they're putting it in all the wrong places. Like, just accept the fact that like where you want to be is not where you're at, and do something about it. Like, stop sitting in that mid. Like, accept sitting that in you the suck, mid, or like make trades to be like, we are going to be a contender. I can't do this back and forth business anymore.
Oh, I think that's the spiciest we've ever been in 53 episodes of doing this.
We're ready to end it, right?
Yeah. Follow us at BT. No, we do have some specifics that we want to get into. First of all, injury updates. As of right now, with the exception of Matt Murray, everyone is back on this team currently. Chandler Stevenson returned to the lineup in New Jersey after his very brief pat leave that he had. So baby Stevenson is here, and dad energy returned to the team. Brandon Montour returned to the lineup against the Bruins. And as we talked about, as a result of that, Jacob Melanson was reassigned back down to Coachella Valley. Lots of displeasure about that choice. We kind of touched on it briefly, but yeah, it's wild to think that this team did so much better hurt than they are doing now that all of the pieces are back in place.
Pretty insane that once all the Infinity Stones are assembled, that the Gauntlet just completely loses all of its power instead of having like maximum power. It's pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, I think like Alex was saying, there are certain guys that we saw when this team was not 100% healthy that helped this team win. And when you bring everybody back, you are necessarily getting rid of some of those guys like Melanson. And I just don't understand why there's so much attachment to Ty Cartier. You should literally just send him down. You're not even going to be missing out on that much.
But I don't even think it sits at Ty Cartier, and I think that's the issue of this team. And like I'm still upset that Melanson got sent down because like yeah, he played 15 games for this team. He only got 4 points, but like he wasn't there to be a point producing player. Like he was there to, be an impact fourth line player, and he made that fourth line dangerous. And now that he's out of there, like the fourth line doesn't seem as successful. Like, yeah, sure, Myers scored tonight, but like it doesn't bring the same impact. But kind of like the way you mentioned, like I don't know why we have such a hold on Karche. Like I feel like that you can talk about players up the lineup. Like you kind of mentioned Kako. Like, yeah, it's like we traded Borgen and a couple picks for him, but like has he done a lot this season? Like there's a lot of players I feel like that you could easily discuss being like, is this player worthy of having a spot over X player that's over in the AHL? And I feel like that's kind of where we're at with this team. Melanson is definitely my number one player. That is like, no, he's an NHL player on that fourth line. Send down Ty Cartier. It's time.
Yeah, I agree.
The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me state. And new customers, this one is just for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved. Next up is going to be a juicy one for Derek, as we always talk about. Our goalie updates after injuries. He's so excited. Almost fell out of his chair.
Almost fell over, genuinely.
Derek, it was a not so hot week this week. In my rudimentary understanding of goalie stats, we only had one of the 5 games that had a plus 900 save percentage. And when we get into your more advanced things, I know it's just even more atrocious. So lay it on us.
When the Kraken are in these close type game moments through 2 periods, through 2.5 periods, and then the other team runs away at the end with empty net goals and stuff, I think it's really meaningful to look at the way that the goalies have put the team in that position. And like you said, this week, there was only one goalie that posted above 900 save percentage. And that goalie was Philip Grubauer, by the way. It was not Joey Decord. Joey Decord has slipped back to either 35th or 36th in goals saved above expected per 60 minutes of play. Philip Grubauer is, I think, 8th right now, somewhere around there. So Grubauer is still top 10. Joey is slipping to almost 40th. He was at what I think is a season high of like 32nd. He spent a lot of time in like the 40s, 50s earlier in the year. So just not looking great. Um, just to sum things up pretty quickly, Joey played 2 games in this last stint that we haven't been talking about games. The first one was against Boston, and he allowed a whole goal over expected. So huge swing when you're considering the fact that last year he was having a lot of games where he was saving goals above expected. Now, like this year, it's just not that. And then the game against Pittsburgh, 31 shots against, 5 goals against, negative 2.11 goals saved above expected. That's the one today where they lost 6-3. So a lot of that game was like it was like 2-2, and then it was like 3-2. And at that point, the Kraken would have been winning like 2-1 or 3-1 based on the expected goals. So just can't be having that. And I don't really see the level of calling that out, rightfully so, as we see when it's Grubauer, who's playing like that. So that's pretty frustrating. But really, just across the board this week, goalie play has been pretty bad. Gru was a lot more tight though. So his first 2 games, negative 0.34 goals saved above expected, negative 0.22 goals saved above expected. And then against Utah, he allowed 5 goals on 30 shots with negative 1.58 goals saved above expected. I know that's a ton of numbers, but basically here, through 2 games, Joey allowed like a whole extra goal than Gru did across the 3 games that he played. And it's super, super, super frustrating that Joey Decord is seen as like this guy who's like always better than Gru and always has the starting spot and never has criticism. And what I mean by never has criticism is, yeah, people are like, oh, Joey Decord hasn't been playing like himself lately, and Grubauer's been really good. But it's never like to the point where people are like, Joey Decord is awful, all this. And I just don't understand. I don't understand because Joey right now is playing similarly to the level that Gru played near the end of last year. And that's just a fact. He's sliding down. Grubauer's playing like Joey did last year. So he's going up. So it's time for everyone to start calling it how it is when it comes to the goalies. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
You teed up exactly how I have been feeling recently, and we've talked about many times before that in seasons past we have been calling for Gru's head based on the performances that he's put out historically, and that Joey has this little grace period. And I think that the runway on that grace period has run out. And like you said, I think it's time we start. Like, we have a 50-50 goalie split right now, and I think it's time we give them a 50-50 treatment. Like, they both get treated equally. I was texting with a friend the other day after one of the games, and I said, I can't believe I am in a position where I get more excited to see Philip Grubauer confirmed as the starting goaltender than Joey. Like, never, if you came from a time machine and told me 2 or 3 seasons ago that I would be saying that sentence, I would call bull on that because I just have never thought I would be in that mindset. I was always like, Gru, whatever. Like, he's not worth the money that he's being paid. But as he starts to go up and Joey starts to come down, we eventually have to meet in the middle and like call a spade or whatever you want to say it. Yeah, I'm starting to I wouldn't say sour on Joey, but he's starting to lose his shine a little bit. And yeah, he's just on that fresh contract, so hopefully we're not in for 5 years of again just kicking a can down the road, hoping that the performance will step up with this contract that he's been on. But man, it was not a pretty week. It was not a pretty week.
So in terms of how I've kind of gone on with goaltenders, I know I've been critical of Grubauer in the past. I'm probably one of the harshest critics, but like what I always try to reinforce is it's not against the player himself. It's always towards the contract. Like if you're making X amount of dollars, you are being paid as one of the best goaltender in the league. Grubauer is making $5.9 million. You expect performances that are comparable to that contract. Over the last 4 years, Grubauer was not playing to the level of his contract. This season, there's no debate. Grubauer is playing to the level of his contract. So I think he's playing exceptional. I'm not going to complain about him whatsoever. Now, if I look at Joey was on a much his contract and the way he was performing was exceptional because of the amount of money he was making over the last couple of seasons. So when Joey had off nights, you're like, well, you know what? He's playing to a caliber of what his contract dictates. Like yeah, he's going to have bad games, whatever. He's making 5 million now. I'm expecting him to play as a $5 million goaltender, and we have not seen that. We're seeing him at a level of a contract that he would have been earning last season. So yeah, he's totally up for criticism here at this point because the way his performances have dictated is it's not at a $5 million player. Like it's just simple to say. So yeah, I think at this point, like Joey is up for all the criticism because if if you're making 5 million a year as a goaltender, you need to provide those performances, and he's not doing it this year. So it comes to a point where he just needs to shut up and get those wins and really showcase the performances of a $5 million player because he had that starting position in the bag. He doesn't now. And we were discussing, early in the season, all off season, all last season, that Philip Grubauer was a perfect buyout candidate. And now we're at this spot in the season and at the spot in his contract where we're like, no, let's just play Grubauer and just keep him on because he's playing like a $5.9 million goaltender now. So we're at this position that it's like, and I agree with Matt, I'm more excited at this point to watch Grubauer play. And I never thought in a million years that I'd say that. And that's where I'm at with this. So goaltenders are voodoo, but at the end of the day, if you're not playing to the degree of your contract, then you have to be open for the criticism because that's where we're at with Joey.
Yeah, Grubauer's ranked 8th in the league. Joey's ranked 36th in the league. That is out of about 70 goaltenders. So Joey has been playing about par average this year. I do want to kind of retract a statement. Last year, I think Gru still was below average. So I won't say that Joey this year is like Gru last year, but it's going there.
It's trending.
It's trending there. This season, Joey's played 28 games, whereas Grubauer's played 18. Joey has faced 78 expected goals against and has allowed 77. So that was about one goal saved above expected. Grubauer's faced 49 expected goals against and has 41 goals against, so has saved 8 above expected on 10 less games. So just far, far, far more efficient, far, far, far more fun to watch, making the biggest saves of the year so far. And I assume that as the season starts to go down the road, we start to see that 28 and 18 start to come together as a more 50. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna jump things a little out of order here because I feel like the last point we had will actually piggyback on that decently into something that I just summed up as calling bad habits because some really, really not great things started to emerge this week in tendencies that this team had. The first being, in the past we've talked about like, oh, that's Kraken hockey when you give up a goal in the final 60 seconds of a period because they're just wanting to head back to the locker room early or whatever it is. But over this last week, they have given up a goal in the first minute of a period 3 different times. And that's, I don't know, pretty infuriating when like you just sit down on the couch with your snackies and you're getting ready to go and you get your blanket, you fluff your pillow, you're settling in, and then suddenly we're scored against. And that's just an absolute bummer. The other one is for 3 games in a row. I tweeted this out in caps with a period between every word. For 3 games in a row, this team has given up a shorthanded goal. which is just like I wanted to throw my phone across the room anytime that I saw those updates. It's just ridiculous. So like what is going on here? I don't know if we can diagnose what is happening with this team, but those are two just horrid uh tendencies, I don't know, habits, I guess that's what I called them before, that are certainly developing here that are just, I don't know, very, very, very worrisome. And I can't think of any sort of line over my past years of Kraken watching that's really jumped out like that.
It's something to definitely be concerned about because it just seems like it's not being fixed. Like giving up a goal within the first minute of a period is like is so Kraken. Like it doesn't matter who your coach is. Like it could have been any of the three. It seems to be an occurring factor at this point. And then giving up a shorthanded goal. I don't know why. Like I'm starting to get more and more concerned about this because, like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me three times, you're probably the Seattle Kraken. Well, we are the Seattle Kraken, so that makes sense. Yeah, it's something that I'm concerned about because, like you mentioned, it's bad habits, and this is where you start. This is where I'm putting this on Lambert. You're the head coach. Fix it. If this was Hackstall, it'd be on the same pressure with him. If it was Bilesma, it'd be the same. With Bilesma last year, there was issues that just never got fixed. And
But
I
with
feel like,
Bilesma last year,
yeah,
if someone wasn't pulling their weight, he'd ship them up to the press box for a game or two.
well,
Yeah, we had a rotation of scratches last year.
but like that's the thing though. Like Lambert's kind of like I don't know what's going on. Like he's refusing to like call out bad habits. Like his post game scrums are just so like bland that you're like, okay, well, like Riker's been screwing up, so like why
What do
aren't
you mean
we?
when they allow more than just the team
Yeah,
reporter
when it's
Yeah.
longer than
ask
a minute and
questions?
7 seconds.
Yeah, but like if you screw up and it's pretty severe, then go to the press box. Like we saw it with Olesiak earlier this season, but like there needs to be some accountability because if it's happening, like you mentioned, shorthanded goal 3 games in a row, like we got to do something about that. That's a pattern at that point. Like it's not going to be the last time it happens. And the goal scoring within first minute of a period has happened way too often. So like it's just bad. Like these bad habits are bad. They're rotten to the core and they need to be stopped. I just don't know how they're going to fix them at this point because it's not a coaching issue because we've had multiple coaches and the same issues continually persist. So it's a player issue at this point.
Wait, I thought you just said it was on Lane Lambert.
Well, he's the coach, though. At the end of the day, he's got to fix it. But I know it's not a coaching issue because.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
No way. What?
I got the red string in my murder board on the wall trying to figure out the connection of thoughts.
So, yes, he
Wait,
is
it's
the
not a
coach.
coach issue, but it's an issue with the coach.
Yeah, it's pressure. Okay, so it's pressure on the coach, but it's a player issue.
Okay, so you're saying that Lambert's going to get heat, but he doesn't deserve the heat.
Exactly, because we've criticized Bilesma, we've criticized Hackstall. About
Okay,
the
so
same
you're
issue.
not personally giving Lambert heat over this.
No,
You think
no,
it's the
no,
players.
no. It's the players, but
Okay.
Hackstall is going to be the one that deals with the heat.
Gotcha.
Because the players never deal with the heat in this team, in this
okay,
organization.
yeah,
It's always
gotcha.
the coach. Like, like we'll just have a couple of personnel like actually just interview Lambert and be like, so why is this happening? He's like, oh, we can't really talk about it. We can't do this. I think we're doing good. Get pucks deep. All that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we can't criticize the players. It's just not something we do here.
100%. Yeah, I definitely think this is like the rule of threes, right? I think the third thing that isn't on here is that this is the third losing season in a row it's shaping up to be. So I guess that's just the way things are going. Yeah, those are both.
I remember a
wild.
certain Christmas Carol talking about that too.
The third losing season.
Yeah.
Was that the three?
There's
Three
either the
losing
3 or the
seasons?
4. I don't know. But anyway.
4 losing seasons.
Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
it was 4 losing seasons because
Yeah.
it included this one.
Yep.
No, but in terms of the whole allowing a goal in the first minute of a period, like what about in the first 3 shots of the game? I feel like Grubauer has kind of passed on his virus to Joey, and now they're both doing that at the same time. Yeah, they both got the bug of like letting it in instantly, and it's not how you start hockey games and wins.
You want to know how clear it is that they're mirroring one another? In back-to-back games this week, they started different games and they both surrendered a goal in 54 seconds.
Yep.
The exact same timestamp, they both
Sounds about
surrendered a
right.
goal.
Like that passes the eye test. I just
That's
feel like
voodoo.
it's instant every time. Yeah.
But hey, at least in that Utah game, we scored like a minute and 4 seconds in, so it looked promising for 64 seconds. But here we are
Yay.
now. Yay! All right, let's end with a couple good things.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
We'll put the milestones at the end here. We had one exciting milestone where in the game against the Mammoth, Freddie Gaudreau recorded his 100th NHL assist on Chandler Stevenson's goal. So that's awesome. That's exciting. And that's the only Kraken-related good thing that happened this week. So good job, Freddie G.
Yay.
Yay. We love you on the fourth line. But we did have a couple good baby squid things where Jagger Firkus and Tyson Jugnoth were both selected for the AHL All-Star Classic. So that's a good thing. And Yanni Newman was named the AHL Player of the Week with 6 goals and 1 assist in 4 games played. Hopefully we'll see him soon. But here, this is me putting on my tinfoil hat. Is recently in past seasons, whoever was named to the AHL All-Star game eventually isn't able to play in that game because they end up being called up to the Kraken. Like that happened to Newman last season. I think it happened to Cale Fleury the season before. So I'm just going to say that within the next few weeks, we are going to see Jagger Firkus and or Tyson Jugnoth making a Seattle Kraken debut. And then I will come back and quote tweet this moment because that is another trend that has happened.
Literally, why not Firkus though? Firkus is like 3 months overdue for starting on the first line of the Kraken.
Do it. I don't care at this point. Like
Dude is destroying the AHL.
we're gonna get to it anyways, but I'm just gonna say this piece and I'll just omit it when we talk about this Coachella Valley. 14 goals, 23 assists. He has 37 points, which is more points than any Seattle Kraken player. I know we're talking about AHL levels, but like throw him
At
up.
least like psychologically like he can have a lot of points and like not freak out about it or something. Like
People
I
will
don't
criticize
know what
saying
it
that
is.
he's not ready for the NHL, but I'm pretty sure half the Kraken roster is not ready for the NHL at this rate.
I think that's a good prediction though. I mean I hope we see either Firkus or Jugno.
I think Jugnoth is going to be the one.
Who was it in 24? 24, it was Riker Evans. And he got called up.
Yep.
25, I swear, was Yanni Newman. And then Cale Fleury had to take his spot. And then 23 was Riker Evans again. So I think he maybe played in one of those. But yeah. Quote it now. Jagger Firkus or Tyson Jugnoth are Kraken incoming. What's going to happen? Okay. Derek, there was a road trip for a lot of those games, but there was a game today at home in CPA.
Yeah.
It was the kids' game. We did it for the kids. We put up a horrible show in front of the kids, but hey, the first 6,000 of them or whatever made it out with a nightlight, which looked pretty cool. Do you have any shovel stories from the game today? Did you have a junior shoveler with you? Like how there was
Okay,
a
I was
there
literally
was a
just about to
junior
say.
Chet, there was a junior
Yeah,
Allison.
there were junior refs. There were two junior refs. I mean, maybe technically they were linesmen because I don't think they had the orange, but two junior linesmen. They had a junior anthem singer. They had everything except,
A junior goaltender?
well, yes, but he's paid by the Kraken every day, so it doesn't matter. But no, they did not have a junior shoveler. That would actually be really cool. I don't know how that would work, but I feel like it'd be kind of cool. um, anyway, it's one thing, pregame, kicking the hacky sack. Gotta remember that there's kids, and you can't scream at the top of your lungs like you usually do whenever you miss the hacky sack, because that's my thing. And also, we handed out the Bowie nightlights, like you said, to 5,000 kids. Yeah, I that was it was a good experience. I really enjoyed handing them out to kids. It was really cool to see them get so excited about stuff. From the ice, the only thing is like I skated by Malkin like every single time, and the dude's just absolutely massive and loved just getting in our way kinda. But but that was kind of cool. Yeah, pretty uneventful, pretty blah game. But yeah.
One thing I'll say is I was stuck watching the Pittsburgh broadcast, and it was maybe in like 5 minutes left in the third period. There was an icing call against Pittsburgh that trickled down the ice, and the commentator said, I'm not sure that that would have made it all the way down, but they got a good ice crew here that's been clearing things off and gave that puck enough room to move. So
No
put that
way.
put that in your resume.
No way.
There was an ice crew shout out from
I'm gonna need a
the
clip of
Penguins.
that.
I'll see if I can find it, but there was 100% an ice crew shout out.
That's so sick.
All right. Well, we have many more opportunities for Derek to share some more shovel stories in the coming week ahead. Alex, what do we have on the horizon?
Well, I got a shovel story. I went outside and shoveled like half a foot of snow. But other than that, we'll get back to the important stuff. The Kraken have another 3 games ahead this week, but this time at home. So Wednesday, they play against the Islanders. On Friday, against the Ducks. And on Sunday, they play the Devils. Then the Torrent also play this week, Tuesday against the Scepters. It's the CJ bobblehead night. And then Sunday versus Vancouver in Denver. So when it comes to the Kraken, I'm going to be brutally honest with this. I'm not feeling too confident. Like, I'm not feeling confident against the Islanders. The Ducks always have our number, and the Devils are absolutely terrible. So we're probably going to lose that one. So I'm going to go 0-2-1 for them. And I hope the Torrent can turn it around, but I'm going to say 1-1 for them.
I say undefeated for both teams. Okay, we ball, and also also
Put that on a t-shirt.
have you guys never heard that?
Oh, no, we have. It was just very
Okay,
unexpected.
okay. I was gonna say I thought that was like boomer. Anyway, I think the Kraken are really streaky, and I feel like we've taken our medicine with all these L's, and we deserve some fun times. So I'd appreciate it, hockey gods, if we could win the next few. I mean, that'd be the proper word, next few, because we deserve it. We don't deserve this much misery. It's been years now. Please just give us something to be excited about.
I think we go ones across the board. We go 1-1-1 in the Kraken schedule, and we go 1-1 in the Torrent schedule.
Who do you think we lose to in regulation in the Kraken?
I think we lose to the Devils.
In regulation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we beat the Islanders. We shootout loss to the Ducks. Because Alex said the Ducks have our number. The last time we played the Ducks, we won 3-1. So maybe not so much, but yeah. And then
Called out.
Called out.
You have any response, Alex?
Do your homework, kid.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
You should
historically,
see my battle station that I have pulled up here.
historically,
He has all
historically-
32 teams all-time record against the Kraken on one of his monitors.
Historically, we're bad against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Okay, well, Alex, actually, gonna push up my glasses.
Oh no, you should have just taken your L.
All time, the Seattle Kraken are 11-4-1 against the Ducks.
Oh, that's not even close.
Get wrecked. This is your Brandon Montour wears 52 moment of the week.
Alex, now you have to eat it. What do you do?
Speechless. Alex is speechless.
No!
Alex, we talked about them a lot. How are our Firebirdies doing?
Oh, sorry, I'm just getting a different type of bird out of my mouth. It's crow. In regards to the Firebirds, they're now sitting fourth in the Pacific with a record of 21-12-4, so much better than the Kraken right now in terms of losses. Yager Furcus is still sitting atop the leaderboard with 14 goals and 23 assists, so exceptional. And like you said before, previously, he's got the AHL All-Star game to look forward to, unless he gets called up. Yanni Newman has played 9 games with the Firebirds this season after being sent down from the big club. In those 9 games, he has 7 goals and 2 assists. Ironically, the Kraken probably could use those 7 goals. But, he's going to be tearing it up in the A as per usual. Schedule this week, Wednesday, they do play the Ontario Reign at home. And again, on Friday against the Reign once again. So definitely watch some Firebird action if you're down to watch some young Kraken. They're starting to heat up, and that's exciting to watch, especially if the Kraken remain streaky.
All right. Well, we will keep an eye on that. And I remember this episode again when Jagger Furcus gets called up to the big show. But that'll do it for this week. We started off super negative. And then we got some fire injected into our bloodstream at the end of that. Derek, as we close things out, as always, can you let the folks know where they can find more BTW online this week?
Yes. First, go check out all of the dope merch we've made because we're poor right now. I'm just kidding. We have some dope designs in there, such as designs that showcase Joey DeCord being dope, Brandon Montour being dope. Who else being dope?
Shane Wright being dope. Mason Marchment, we don't talk about him.
Hillary Knight. Mason Marchment, he's dead to us. And also go check out Heather's articles. The link is in the show notes. You can also follow at Heather Nicole with no E and at the Hockey News W to see more of her work. And keep your eyes on our podcast feed to see when she drops more PWHL episodes. Also, please drop a follow and a 5-star review on the podcast app of your choice. Follow us on all socials. It helps us out a whole lot if you could take a second to like or comment on those videos and keep up with all of our takes on Twitter and Instagram. And I just wanted to say, if you're a fan of the Kraken, you know the season could go no other way. But follow along with the predictable dread over at BTW SEA. All right. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
We going beneath the waves. Going beneath the waves.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.